The North London derby is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. The biggest game in the season for so many reasons is but 48 hours away. It's always the biggest game in the season, but this time around the stakes couldn't be higher. Bragging rights, the ability to say that you beat your North London rivals, is almost irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. The ability to put the final nail in the coffin for either team's rivals' season's ambitions is probably the real cornerstone of where the value sits. If Tottenham win, Arsenal's title chance is all but over. Statistically improbable anyway. Arsenal require a perfect run-in and Man City to drop points, which at the moment seems a little bit unlikely, but it's still very much possible. If Tottenham win or even draw, most Arsenal fans, I would hope acknowledge, would say that that's it. So the incentive should be there for Tottenham, but not only to beat Arsenal and ruin their season, it's about us too. We've got a top four race that is not over either. Statistically also unlikely. It would require Aston Villa to drop points somewhere, Tottenham to outperform them over the coming run-in. And when you look at the relative run-ins, it seems unlikely, but if Arsenal beat us or even draw, it's probably done. If we win, it's very much still alive. And Champions League, although a lot of Tottenham fans may be kind of tolerant of playing Europa League football, Champions League does offer an esteem that can't be matched. It also offers financial compensation that will be much needed in this summer's transfer window in order to build our squad, to be able to compete with the likes of Arsenal over 38 games next season. As I said to you this week, I feel like the energy in the Tottenham fan base is a little bit dialed up. Everyone feels a little bit on edge, more so than normal going into the North London derby. Is it because of Arsenal's form? Is it because of Tottenham's form? A 2-week break since we put in an unacceptable and appalling performance against Newcastle. A chance to put things right, or too much time under the bridge where the gap between performances is going to be a negative? Time will tell. Now, I wanted to find out how members of the YouTube community feel about this particular game. I wanted to dial into Tottenham fans and Arsenal fans. And so that's what I've done on this video, guys. I've gone and found 3 Arsenal fans and 4 or 5 Tottenham fans to see exactly how they feel, how confident they are, what they expect to happen on Sunday. And so coming up, you're going to see 7 or 8 different takes, one at a time, and we'll talk about it afterwards. See if you notice any consistencies. Before we get into it, guys, if you are new to the channel, hit the like button for me if you enjoy the content. Really appreciate it. It helps the channel out. Hit the subscribe if you're new around these here parts. We're on the march to 25k. Any help is much appreciated. Hit the notification bell and drop a comment.
Hello, Spurs Talk Show fanatics. It's your boy Dave here from the Irish Hotspur, giving you my prediction heading into this North London derby. Now, of course, we head into this one off the back of a 4-0 defeat to Newcastle. Things are a bit glum around the fan base at this moment in time in terms of expectancy heading into this North London derby, especially off the back of them thrashing Chelsea 5-0 during the week as well. However, what I would say is that under Harry Redknapp, we were way down the league in the relegation zone. We went into a North London derby and we drew with them 4-4. The point I'm trying to make is form goes out the window. You go to the 91 FA Cup semi-final with Gascoigne's famous free kick. We went in there, we didn't have a hope in hell purely because Arsenal, I think we only lost 1 game that season. But we went in there, we bet them and we went on to the final, which we went on to win. So form goes out the window in this game. And I think Tottenham will turn up, especially because the luck of the Irish will be there, living it up with Sean, which I absolutely cannot wait. Last thing I would say just quickly is that I think Ange Postecoglou needs to make changes, not in terms of tactics, but personnel. I want to see a change in that forward line. I think we need a ball carrier up there, someone who can get hold of that ball and hold it up and relieve a bit of pressure on us going the other way, like Kulusevski or Richalison. Get them back in that forward line. And in the back line, I know with Udogie being out, it's an absolute hindrance. It's a bit of a problem. I'm scared about the potential of Ben Davies going up against Saka. For me, I would like to see Postecoglou be a bit brave, accommodate that back line to get Dragusin in there somewhere, maybe get Dragusin at right back and get Emerson on at left back with Van De Ven and Romero centre back just to avoid Davies being in there, or get Emerson at left back and keep Porro at right back because he is back fit, which I'm absolutely pumped about. But it's a big one. Guys, I hope you enjoy this weekend. Hopefully we come out the right side. Hopefully we spoil their parties. Your boy doesn't like to party. He likes to spoil them. So let's go. Come on, you Spurs. Mwah.
Well, what can you say? Arsenal Spurs versus Arsenal, always a tough game. And listen, it's one of those games I have to be really honest, I don't look forward to. But you know, you can't live with them and you can't live without them. But I have to say, going into this game, if it was a week ago, I would be less confident than what I am now. Obviously, on the back of a 5-0 win against Chelsea, that gives us a bit of confidence. And we're playing well. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be an open game. I think Spurs are going to play how they normally do, which will suit Arsenal, which will suit Spurs as well. But the game being open, I think Spurs struggle when teams come there and defend. That's not going to happen with us. And, you know, if Spurs are open, it gives us a chance as well. I think it's going to be a real nervy game for both teams. And I think at the end of the day, we will just nick it 1 or 2-0.
Hello everyone at the Spurs Talk Show. It is James here from Spurs Related. Hope everyone's doing very well. Firstly, predictions for the game on Sunday. Huge game. I would say there is a lot more at stake for Arsenal going for that title, being so close to winning it. Manchester City just beat Brighton 4-0, so the pressure is on them massively to keep up with them. But Tottenham obviously still going for top 4. Aston Villa are in the driving seat, but in my opinion, I wouldn't be too upset with getting Europa League. I think a lot of Spurs fans have accepted that, and I think the pressure is off us and massively on Arsenal. So I think that with the atmosphere that's going to be building at that Tottenham Hotspur Stadium Sunday at 2 p.m, and just we've seen them bottle it two seasons ago when we were both going for the Champions League, 3-0, Sonny scored and Kane scored. I just see a similar situation. They're going to capitulate, and I think it's going to be 3-2 Tottenham. If you're going, enjoy the game and keep subbing to this brilliant channel. Come on, you Spurs.
Yes, people, Dan Potts here from Football's 12th Man. Massive weekend for Arsenal and Spurs. North London derby, form goes out the window, but momentum is key in football. And Arsenal have got that momentum. I think for me, Partey, Rice and Udogie in midfield, that trio, is going to cause problems and allow us to dominate the game. And that's what I'm praying. I know that they've got problems, Spurs, with Udogie being out, but I have to admit, even with this Spurs side, I still think they can cause us some problems. I see a lot of Arsenal fans very confident about this one and saying we're going to batter Tottenham like we did Chelsea. Not for me. I think this one's going to be tight. I really do. I've been disappointed with Spurs, and I think that the long kind of distance of that St James Park without playing football, that defeat I think hurt them. And I think this one they're going to be all up for, man. They want to completely ruin our title chances. So this one's for us to shut them up and for us to win the game. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal victory. So come on, you Gunners.
Hi, Sean. Just got your email. Also say your WhatsApp message. The game, Sunday. I'm in Prague, currently in Prague. Back late Friday night. Certainly not missing this game. Basically, after watching Arsenal, coming to my room early to watch Arsenal absolutely pulverise Chelsea, a little worried. That was them just missing Cole Palmer and Gusto on the wing. Depends. If we got Destiny, maybe we can handle without Destiny, but still have Porro. But if Porro doesn't make it and Destiny's out, I do fear for us. But it will be probably, I reckon, it will be Davis and Emerson. I think they'll spot 50-50 in that game. I reckon it's going to be a hard game. Come on, guys, let's be honest. I reckon they could possibly tie. They've played 4 games since we've had our last. So I reckon they could tie in the second half. So I would really like us to hold out and come back and beat them. So I'm going to go a very, very optimistic 3-2, but a late winner, and the subs in the second half win it for us. See you soon, Sean. See you on Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a massive game this weekend, and you guys already know about it. The North London Derby. This means everything. You guys want to stop our league title, and we need to win every single game from now to the end of the season and hope Manchester City drop points to win this league. I'm going with a strong team, the same team that played against Chelsea. I wouldn't change an individual from that team. So go check out the lineup that we played against Chelsea to know the team that I'm playing. Also, this Arsenal team is really strong defensively. We have a much better midfield than yours with now Odegaard, Rice, and Partey playing full 90 minutes with each other against Chelsea. I think that's the midfield we're going to go with. And the way we're going to play, I think we're going to play a defensive, pragmatic style of football, counter-attack, and we're going to get you guys susceptible to high ball, winning the ball high up the pitch. And then when we do that, we're going to try to score from that. I think it's going to be similar to last year where we score early and then we get a second as you guys are chasing the game and we win the game 2-0. That's my prediction. Let me know whatever you guys think about my prediction later. But for now, big up to you, Sean, and have yourselves a wonderful day. I hope you guys lose.
Predictions for Sunday. I think if we play like we've been playing, we're going to get hammered. I know all the cliches are being rolled out about form goes out the window and everything else, but last year it didn't. We got exactly what we thought we was going to get. I'd like to think now, surely Ange then, his last 2 weeks, looked at it and think, you've got 6 games, you've got 4 big teams in that time. You need to just work out a plan to get through those 6 games. We can't go toe-to-toe with Arsenal, City, Liverpool, because we'll get destroyed. The last game we got destroyed by Newcastle, nowhere near their level. So hopefully Ange sees a bit of sense, changes it up a little bit, makes some minor adjustments just to get through these 6 games. Then we can go again in pre-season.
Yes, good afternoon. Right, this is for Sean Butler and for Spurs Talk Show. Tottenham versus Arsenal. Normally it's a game you go into with high hopes. Form doesn't matter because it's a derby. I'm afraid I'm going to be that guy. I think this is going to be an absolute rout for Arsenal. I think that Ange Postecoglou's high line is absolutely suicidal. It can't work in the Premier League, especially with the players that we've got. I think you're going to beat the lesser teams. I think teams like Arsenal with players like Rice and Odegaard and Saka and Trossard, I think they're going to figure it out the way the other clubs have figured us out. Newcastle ran through us at will. Fulham ran through us at will. Unfortunately, guys, I'm going to go with Arsenal 3, Tottenham 1. Want to win this game. I just don't think Postecoglou's got the tactical nous. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we spring a surprise. I just don't think he's quite good enough for this level.
So there you go, guys. What do you make of it? Got 3 Arsenal fans there, Egal, Dan and Lee, all of them coming across quietly confident, reserved. I'm not sure. Egal is usually someone who's the most bullish, most glass half full Arsenal fan that I know. And he'll always find a reason. He'll always find a justification for an Arsenal win. Lee and Dan, I think very balanced naturally as Arsenal fans, but you can tell all 3 of them have a level of confidence going into this where they expect not necessarily a whitewash, not necessarily a putting to the sword outcome for Arsenal, but all of them are predicting Arsenal wins. All of them are predicting that Tottenham's tactics, the philosophy of how Tottenham are going to approach the game is going to play into Arsenal's hands. And that unless there is some tactical adaptation from Ange Postecoglou, then it really will be a matter of Arsenal outplaying them with better quality and better ability to finish. And you can see it, you can feel it, not just from these 3, but when you watch other guys in the Arsenal fan base, they all talk of a similar nature. I don't think any Arsenal fan that I've seen is predicting anything other than a Tottenham win, and that is worrying. It's worrying. When it comes to Tottenham fans, I don't feel that same confidence. You know, I picked 5 or 6 different Tottenham fans that all traditionally have a different approach to how they analyse Tottenham. Some are more glass half full, always find a justification for why Tottenham can win. Others may be more balanced or see the weaknesses and the vulnerabilities in our system and are not afraid to kind of speak their mind on it. To me, the underlying consistent theme across all of the Tottenham fans is that if Tottenham are going to win, then we're hanging our hopes on the fact that form goes out of the window and that big Ange Postecoglou is going to have to change the tactics or mitigate for certain circumstances when I'm not sure there's any evidence this season that that's going to happen. And so if it's Tottenham can win, but it requires Ange to pivot things here or for there to be a tactical adaptation, for the line to drop 5 yards further back, for the fullbacks to uninvert or to sit back and not be so deep. If those things are the conditions of why Tottenham are going to win, it doesn't feel like there's that much confidence, and it's a lot of ifs and buts and has-tos. And honestly, it concerns me when the stakes are so high to see an overarching narrative that is, if we're honest, leaning so one-sided. For me, I'm going to maybe come across here with some views or takes that, again, are looking for positives where positives maybe don't exist. But people saying that Ben Davies, you know, playing instead of Udogie is a nightmare and will play anyone but Ben Davies, will put Emerson Royal over there or put Micky Van De Ven at left back. I don't see it that way. I personally see the reality that when Ben Davies has played left back this season, his average heat map is about 10 yards deeper than when Destiny Udogie is. And for me, if Ben Davies is playing left back, I think there will be a natural reservation. I think he will step back a little bit. I think that in and of itself will offer James Maddison a little bit more space to operate in the front end of the pitch in the final third when we have the ball. And I think that despite Ben Davies is naturally lacking of pace relative and compared to Destiny Udogie, I think against Saka, in transition, I think it will be of benefit to Tottenham to have him a little bit deeper than having the natural situation where we usually find ourselves, where you have two centre-backs and then everybody else in the final third. I think that scenario is more dangerous and more kind of fraught with vulnerabilities than one where Ben Davies is a little bit more deeper and where we can have a little bit more man protection in that scenario. For me, look, it comes down to, of course, who wants it more. Of course, it comes down to taking your chances, and it's going to take some kind of mesmerical performances from whoever is going to step up on the day on both teams. If Arsenal get the early goal, I worry about the crowd's energy. I really do, because, as I say, the energy in the fan base this week is palpably lacking in confidence. And if we go 1-0 down, especially in the first 15 minutes, then I think bad things are on the cards. But if we get an early goal, if we start bright, if we take a chance, if we pick certain players, as Dave was alluding to, that are going to be able to hold the ball up and not be so easily dispossessed in the final third and leave us vulnerable to transition, then good things can happen. Of course, again, I'm sounding conditional. Ifs and has-tos are the narrative of the Tottenham fan. Because, look, man for man, and on form basis, Arsenal are stronger than Tottenham. They are. Tottenham naturally finish stronger in most of the games that we play. Even when we're struggling at certain times in the match, we play better in the second half. We finish stronger, and good outcomes can occur in the final 10 or 15 minutes, as long as we're still in the game. And so that is why we need the midfield men to be at it. If Arsenal and Arteta does employ a kind of man-for-man midfield battle, then I think that you're going to need maybe someone like a Hojbjerg in there to kind of ruffle some feathers and be a little bit physical. I don't think this game suits Pape Sarr. I think it could be a Hojbjerg and a Bentancur scenario, or maybe a Bissouma and a Hojbjerg. I think that you need to combat Rice and Partey and make it physical, make it more of a challenge in the midfield. You can't sacrifice that midfield third, and you can't lose those duels. If you do, it's going to be a long day in the office, guys. But let me know your thoughts. Do you see the same things I'm seeing? Are you seeing the same kind of consistent themes amongst your fan base? Let me know, guys. Also, make sure you subscribe to all the guys in the video. Links are in the description below, and I will see you on the next one. Like, subscribe, and comment. Shut up, Bugsy! Bye-bye.